Go on, Sarah. Sign it. Sure, Marcus.
Don't do this.
Actually, Marcus, I won't be signing anything tonight. In fact, I think I'm firing you.
Marcus Hale?
You're under arrest.
Sarah, you set me up.
I waited 3 months for this.
Welcome to today's story. This is a thriller about betrayal, gaslighting, and the sweetest revenge. If you believe that cheaters and wicked partners always get caught in the end, hit that like button right now. And if you are new here, subscribe and turn on notifications to join our family of story lovers. Let's see if we can get this video to 5,000 likes. Now, let's begin the story. The sound of the heart monitor was the first thing to break the heavy, suffocating silence of the private suite. Beep, beep. It was a steady, rhythmic reminder that life was still holding on by a fragile thread. The room was sterile and white, smelling of strong antiseptic mixed with the cloying scent of expensive lily arranged in crystal vases. In the center, lying on a bed with crisp, high thread count sheets, was Sarah. Her head was wrapped in thick layers of gauze and bandages. Her face, usually vibrant and full of laughter, was pale, waxy, and still. She looked like a sleeping porcelain doll. She had been sleeping for 3 long months. Sitting beside her, holding her limp hand in his, was Marcus. To the nurses who came in to change the 4 drips, and to the press waiting outside the hospital gates, Marcus was the definition of a devoted husband. He was the CEO of Sterling Industries, a powerful man who had put his empire on hold to spend every night by his wife's bedside since the tragic accident. He looked at her with tears glistening in his eyes. He squeezed her cold hand gently, leaning forward until his breath fogged the plastic rail of the bed. "Come back to me, Sarah," he whispered, his voice trembling with emotion. "We have so much to do. The company needs you. The shareholders are asking questions. I need you." Suddenly, the rhythm of the room changed. Sarah's eyelids fluttered rapidly. The heart monitor picked up speed, the beeps becoming faster and more urgent. Marcus froze. He leaned in closer, his breath hitching in his throat, watching her face intensely. Sarah's eyes opened. They were blue, deep, and clouded with confusion. She blinked rapidly against the harsh, fluorescent hospital lights that burned her retina. The world was a blur of white noise and blinding light. She tried to speak, but her throat felt like it was filled with broken glass. The taste of copper and medicine was thick on her tongue. She looked around the room, her gaze darting frantically from the strange machines to the window, and finally landing on the man holding her hand. Marcus smiled, a look of pure, overwhelming relief washing over his handsome face. "Sarah," he choked out, standing up. "Oh, thank God, you're back." "You're finally back to us." He reached out to stroke her cheek with his thumb. "I thought I lost you, my love. I thought you were gone forever." "Do you know how scared I was?" Sarah flinched violently. She pulled her hand away from his grip as if he had burned her with a hot iron. She pushed herself back against the pillows, pressing her spine into the mattress, fear flooding her eyes. "Who are you?" she whispered, her voice raspy and dry from months of disuse. Marcus froze mid-motion. His smile faltered, replaced by a look of hurt. "Sarah, ... It's me, Marcus, your husband. We have been married for 5 years." Sarah shook her head slowly, wincing as a sharp pain shot through her skull. "Husband? I don't know you. I don't know that name. Where am I? Who am I? The door opened and Dr. Julian, the chief neurologist, entered the room. He checked Sarah's vitals and shone a penlight into her dilated pupils. He turned to Marcus with a grave, professional expression. It appears she has severe retrograde amnesia, Mr. Sterling. The trauma to her frontal lobe was catastrophic. She has lost her biographical memory. Marcus looked at Sarah, who was cowering in the bed. He looked back at the doctor, and then, for a split second so fast that nobody else noticed, a different emotion flickered in his dark eyes. It wasn't sadness, it wasn't grief, it was calculation. It was the look of a predator spotting an opportunity. "So," Marcus asked, slowly, testing the waters, "she doesn't remember anything? Not the accident? Not our business details?" "Nothing," Dr. Julian confirmed, scribbling on his clipboard. "Her mind is a blank slate. She doesn't remember her childhood, her marriage, or her assets. It might be permanent." Marcus turned back to Sarah. His face softened into a mask of perfect empathy. He took her hand again, firmer this time, establishing dominance. "It's okay, darling," he said, his voice smooth like velvet. "I will help you remember. I will take care of everything. You don't have to worry about a single thing." 2 weeks later, Sarah was discharged. As they exited the hospital, a swarm of paparazzi was waiting. Cameras flashed like lightning. Marcus held Sarah close, shielding her face, playing the role of the protective hero for the morning news. He drove her home in a black bulletproof limousine with tinted windows. Their home wasn't just a house. It was a sprawling penthouse on the 50th floor, overlooking the city skyline. It screamed wealth, power, and isolation. As Sarah walked through the cold marble hallway, she touched the walls tentatively. The place felt like a museum, not a home. "I live here?" she asked, her voice echoing in the empty space. "We live here," Marcus corrected, placing a hand on the small of her back. "You built this empire, Sarah. You are the heiress to the Sterling fortune. I have just been managing it for you while you were asleep." Sarah looked at the massive wedding photo hanging above the fireplace. A beautiful woman who looked like her, smiling radiantly next to this handsome stranger. It felt like looking at a ghost. It felt like looking at someone else's life. "You must love me very much," she said softly, trying to feel something. "More than anything in the world," Marcus replied, kissing her forehead. But as he hugged her, pulling her close to his chest, Sarah's eyes remained open, staring blankly at the wall. She felt nothing, no spark, no comfort, just a strange, cold emptiness. The days turned into weeks, and the penthouse became a prison. Marcus was the perfect caregiver on the surface. He hired the best private chefs. He bought her new designer clothes. He filled the house with flowers. But beneath the kindness, there was an edge. He started asking questions. It started subtly over dinner. "Sarah, darling, do you remember where you kept the blue file? The one for the offshore accounts?" Or, "Sweetheart, the lawyers need your digital signature password to pay the staff. Try to remember. It's very important." Sarah would clutch her head, looking distressed, pushing her plate away. "I can't, Marcus. It hurts when I try to think about numbers. I can't remember any codes." Marcus would smile tightly, the veins in his neck pulsing. He would slam his glass down just a little too hard. "Try harder, Sarah," he would say, his voice losing its warmth. "The company is bleeding money without your authorization. We could lose everything your father built." Do you want us to be poor? The pressure began to mount. Marcus wasn't just a husband anymore. He was a jailer. He isolated her from her friends, telling them she was too fragile for visitors. He monitored her calls. He told the household staff not to speak to her to avoid confusing her brain. He took away her smartphone and gave her an old sturdy phone with no internet. One evening, Marcus tried a new tactic. He showed her a photo album. "Look, Sarah," he said, pointing to a picture of a beach house. "Remember this? We bought this last summer. You loved it." Sarah looked at the photo. I don't remember." Marcus sighed loudly, sounding disappointed. "Sarah, you are not trying. Maybe your memory is gone because you don't want to remember how much I did for you." Sarah felt a pang of guilt. Was he right? Was she the problem? But deep down, something felt wrong. The photo looked photoshopped. The shadows were wrong. He was gaslighting her, planting fake memories to confuse her reality. But Sarah wasn't as confused as she seemed. Late one night, while Marcus was asleep in the master bedroom, snoring softly, Sarah crept out of bed. She moved silently across the plush carpet, her bare feet making no sound. She stopped. A floorboard creaked in the hallway. Her heart slammed against her ribs. Was he awake? She held her breath, listening to the heavy silence of the massive apartment. After a terrifying moment, the rhythm of his snoring resumed. She exhaled shakily. She went to the library. She scanned the shelves until she found a specific book, a vintage copy of The Great Gatsby. She pulled it down. Inside the hollowed-out pages was a burner phone and a small USB drive. She turned the phone on. The screen glowed in the darkness. She dialed a number from memory. "He is getting impatient," Sarah whispered into the phone, her voice steady and sharp. "He showed me fake photos today. He asked about the Swiss bank access codes again. He is desperate." On the other end of the line, Dr. Julian's voice was calm and reassuring. "Stay the course, Sarah. We need him to sign the power of attorney transfer documents. If he thinks you are incompetent, he will try to take legal control. That is when we catch him for fraud." "I don't know how much longer I can pretend," Sarah trembled. "Sleeping next to him, it makes my skin crawl. Every time he touches me, I remember the feeling of the brakes snapping. I remember the look on his face." Flashback, 3 months ago. Sarah was driving her red convertible sports car down the winding coastal highway. The wind was in her hair. She approached a sharp turn overlooking the ocean. She pressed the brake pedal. It went to the floor. No resistance. She pumped it again. Panic surged through her veins. Nothing. She pulled the emergency brake. The cable snapped loosely in her hand. It had been cut. She saw the cliff edge rushing towards her. She screamed Marcus's name, realizing in that split second that he had been the last one under the hood of the car that morning, smiling as he handed her the keys. The car flew off the edge. The world turned upside down. The sky swapped places with the sea. Metal screamed as the chassis twisted on impact. Glass shattered into a million diamonds. Darkness took her. "You survived for a reason, Sarah," Dr. Julian said, bringing her back to the present. "You woke up from that coma 3 days before you let Marcus know. You called me. Stick to the script. Justice is coming." Sarah hung up and hid the phone back inside the book. She crept back into the bedroom, sliding under the covers next to the man who tried to murder her. She listened to his breathing. The next day, Marcus came home early from the office. He looked stressed. He was pacing the living room. "Sarah, we need to talk," he said abruptly. "What is it, Marcus?" she asked, playing the fragile invalid. "The board of directors," Marcus lied. "They are getting restless. They want to replace you as CEO." Sarah gasped. "Replace me? But this is my father's company." "Exactly," Marcus said, kneeling beside her. "We can't let that happen. Next week is the company's 50th anniversary gala. I need you to come. I don't think I'm ready for crowds," she said shyly. "You don't have to speak," Marcus insisted. "Just appear, and then, on stage, we will sign the papers giving me temporary power of attorney, just until your memory returns. It will save the company." Sarah looked deep into his eyes. She saw the greed masking itself as concern. This was it. This was the trap. "Okay, Marcus," she said softly. "I will do it. For us." Marcus hugged her, hiding his triumphant smirk. He thought he had won. He thought she was a broken doll he could manipulate. The night of the gala arrived. The venue was the grand ballroom. It was opulent. Waiters circled with silver trays of caviar and champagne. Photographers fought for the best angle. It was a scene of perfect success, hiding a rot that was about to be exposed. In the dressing room, Marcus stood behind Sarah as she put on her jewelry. He leaned close to her ear, his tone cold. "Do not embarrass me tonight, Sarah," he whispered. "If you mess this up, if you forget your lines, I cannot protect you. Do you understand?" Smile, nod, sign the papers. Sarah shivered, but she nodded. "I understand, Marcus." He smiled, satisfied, and led her out. Marcus entered the ballroom with Sarah on his arm. She wore a stunning emerald green gown. "She looks good," a shareholder whispered. "But the lights are on and nobody is home." "Marcus is a saint for staying with her," another replied. Marcus led her to the VIP table. He was beaming. He played the role of the grieving hero perfectly. He handed Sarah a glass of water. "Drink this, darling. Stay calm. It will be over soon." Then it was time. The lights dimmed. Marcus walked up to the podium. "Ladies and gentlemen," his voice boomed. "Thank you for coming. As you know, my wife has suffered a terrible tragedy." He gestured to Sarah. The crowd applauded politely. Sarah stood up shakily and walked to the stage. She could feel the eyes of 500 people on her. The investors, the board members, the press. They were all witnesses to her alleged incompetence. Marcus extended his hand to help her. "However," Marcus continued, "Sarah realizes that the company needs strong leadership. Due to her condition, she has decided to step down as CEO and transfer full executive power to me, effective tonight." He pulled a legal document from his pocket. "We will sign this right here to secure the future of Sterling Industries." A lawyer stepped forward with a pen. The room went silent. This was a hostile takeover disguised as a marriage partnership. Sarah took the pen. Her hand was shaking visibly. She looked at the paper. Then she looked at Marcus. He nodded encouragingly, but his eyes were threatening. "Sign it," his eyes said, "or else." Sarah lowered the pen. The tip touched the paper. Marcus held his breath. Then she stopped. She stood up straight. The shaking in her hands disappeared instantly. Her posture shifted from frail to powerful. The vacant look in her eyes vanished, replaced by cold steel. She leaned into the microphone. The silence in the room was deafening. "Actually, Marcus," she said, her voice clear and strong, "I don't think I will be signing anything tonight. In fact, I think I am firing you." The crowd gasped. Marcus froze. "Sarah," he hissed, "what are you doing?" "You're confused." "I am not confused, husband," Sarah said, turning to face him. "In fact, I have never been more clear. My memory is just fine. It has been fine for weeks." "I remember everything." Marcus laughed nervously. "She is having an episode. Dr. Evans, please help her." Dr. Julian Evans stepped out from the shadows, but he didn't move to help Marcus. He moved to stand beside Sarah, holding a laptop. "I don't think she needs help, Marcus," Dr. Evans said. "But the police outside might need this." Dr. Evans hit a key. The massive projector screen behind the stage flickered to life. It was a video. A grainy security camera footage from the garage dated the night before the accident. In the video, Marcus was wearing a mechanic's jumpsuit. He looked around nervously, then used wire cutters to snap the brake cable of Sarah's car. The timestamp showed 2 a.m. The figure in the video paused, looked directly at the lens, and pulled down his mask to wipe sweat from his brow. It was Marcus. There was no denying it. The ballroom erupted in chaos. Screams, gasps. Marcus stared at the screen, his face draining of color. "No," he stammered. That's fake. It's a eye. She is crazy, is it?" Sarah asked, stepping closer. "I also remember what you whispered to me in the hospital when you thought I was in a coma. You said, 'Why won't you just die, you stubborn witch?'" Marcus snapped. The mask fell. He lunged at her, hands reaching for her throat. "You set me up," he screamed. "You played me." Before he could reach her, security guards tackled him. He thrashed and screamed as police marched onto the stage and handcuffed him. As they dragged him away, Marcus looked back. Sarah stood tall in her emerald dress, the queen of her empire, looking down at him with zero pity. Marcus was sentenced to 20 years for attempted murder and fraud. Sarah took back full control of Sterling Industries. She fired every traitor on the board. Rumors say she and Dr. Evans started a new life together, built on trust. But Sarah never forgot the lesson. She learned that the closest people to you can hold the sharpest knives. So, my listeners, what is the lesson here? Be careful who you trust. Be careful who you share your pillow with. Money makes people do terrible things. Greed can turn a lover into a killer. Sometimes the only way to see the truth is to close your eyes and pretend you are asleep. Because when people think you are not watching, they show you exactly who they really are. If you enjoyed this story of justice and revenge, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next thrilling tale. Until next time, stay awake and stay safe. Good night.